Hi, I'm John. This is my show, Orange is the New Black Cards. So I just want to do a really quick video here, just give a couple little updates because I don't have time to make videos and be a professional YouTuber. You know, I just do not have the time and stuff. So when I have to come in and do a video like this, there's things I have to try. I'm trying to run through a video as quick as I can, and I just don't have the time. There's too many things for me to talk about. So I just want to just real quick try a little quickie, just give you a couple little opinions on something. Okay, so this Rattle Pokemon did another video, and he titles it like the Logan Paul sealed case scam. He'll title the videos with that title in there, right? But now when he's titling those videos like that, he's doing commercials for the Prime Drink Company, and it's like, look at this is the new one of what he did, and look at the background. Because what I'm saying is that somebody put Rattle Pokemon onto the sealed case scam because he had to be planted there at that time to expose the case as being fake, so that it could align with the launching of Logan Paul's Prime Drink Company. And that was the whole thing. And just real quick, the bigger picture of what I'm saying is that I absolutely do not believe that Mealy Pops would have been involved in that sealed case and then had it wrapped and then sold it the next day for $2.7 million. I don't believe that. I flat out don't believe it. I believe from that beginning, from the whole time, it was always a scam to get to this point. I don't believe that any part of like that they just did that and they sold it and then it's like, I don't believe any of it. And the big part of what I keep saying is that it's for the launching, it's for advertisement for the launching of the Prime Drink Company. And I keep saying that Rattle Pokemon had to be put in place as some kind of a plant because he was perfectly aligned with the launching of the drink company. He had to be there to expose that so they could get all the advertisements, so they could then launch the Prime Drink Company. And now, what do you see? After that, now he's like a paid spokesman for Prime Drink Company. I mean, how much more obvious does he need to make it that he's actually getting paid from the Prime Drink Company? He's doing advertisement for them. Okay, this is his newest video. And look at what he's got in the background. Okay, so got that point out of the way. Now, this is Sports Cards Anonymous. He's talking to, because I'm Carlos. Okay, so just really quick, just listen to a little thing he says here.
All right, so I haven't bought any Zerocool cards. Have you bought or made any, Carlos?
Oh, it's the dream. I dream of one day being able to own a proper positive porcupine.
Okay, so really quick, what I want to say, because, you know, like when I'm making videos and stuff, sometimes you don't get the direct point and stuff, right? So what I want to say is that I actually, I think the Zerocool could be, well, not that they could be, they will be. They will put out really cool products. They'll have access and ability to making contracts with certain people and stuff that they'll be able to put out cards that I would really, really want from the Zerocool company, okay? But the big problem I had with the VeeFriends is they took a crappy product and they they released it. They released it as a high-end sports card type chase product. That was the big issue what I'm having with them, is that's the fraud. When I talk about it being a scam, I'm saying there's in no way are those like on the level of like flawless cards. And now what you've seen from that big flawless card break and stuff, that even the flawless stuff's not worth it and stuff. That the bigger pictures, even the big high-end stuff, when you actually look at it case after case after case, you see it's a big scam and stuff. There's very few chase cards. It's just not worth it and stuff. Even the flawless stuff is not worth it, right? So why would Gary V's little cartoon characters be worth that kind of a quality release? And then how he put on their rare, he created this illusion of scarcity and stuff, right? That's the scam of what I'm saying, that they did not deserve to be that kind of a quality cards, and then to mask that they didn't deserve it, they created this illusion of rarity and stuff. That's what I'm saying the scam is on VeeFriends. So, because actually, I've seen that the VeeFriend characters are going to be much more like they're showing them like on Uno cards and stuff. And then I hate the other thing is I hate the positivity, like the overtones of the positivity stuff that's with the view. That's what I don't like also, is that positivity bullshit. But the actual simple little characters themselves, like he's doing them on Uno cards and then he's going to do them on other things. And still, like the little characters for kids, little characters, I actually don't, I'm not against that as long as we understand that those are simple little characters that are going to be fun little characters for kids. They're child's things and stuff, right? That's, so there's just a bigger picture of what's going on of why I don't like the Garyvee's VeeFriends things, right? But the Zerocool, what I want to show you is that, okay, so Zerocool is going to do, they're going to do like things with entertainers. They're going to do like outside the box type of stuff. But what I don't want it to be is high-end cards. And I don't want it to be this chase card product. I don't want it to be that. And like, so this is what I would say is like, this is Andy Warhol. This is some of his pop art, okay? Now, if Zerocool released not in a fancy box like Flawless, just in packs, okay? But if they just did a pack that was all refractors, no chase cards, no numbered cards, just refractor cards. Okay, if Zerocool released packs of cards that at the most were like $5 a pack, they should be like, I don't know how much it costs to actually produce refractor cards. So this would be just a simple thing. It's like, what does it cost to produce them? Sell it for a reasonable price, right? What does it cost to produce 5 refractor cards? Like, I'd pay $1 a piece for a refractor card of an Andy Warhol pop art card. Like, these would be awesome, because pop art, I think this is like one of my favorite things. I like the colors and shit, like refractors, like why I like refractors, same type of thing, okay? This is Andy Warhol's pop art stuff. This stuff is awesome, right? So if you put these just on regular cards, regular trading cards, yeah, I'll leave it with the Michael Jackson one there, because anybody knows me, I do all the Michael Jackson stuff. And so, if they did Andy Warhol refractor cards, from Zerocool, and they released them in packs with like 5 cards per pack, and the pack was like $5 a pack, so you're paying $1 a card, I would think that that's really freaking cool. So, and then like if it's $5 a pack, you get a box of 20 packs for like $100, and it's like a Zerocool refractor, all refractors though, no chase cards, no numbered cards. I just want the cool refractors. I just, stop making me have to chase for this stuff too much. Just let me collect cool pop art refractor cards, and just charge me a fair price for that. And that stuff that it's like, especially if I could just buy a pack, I would see, there's a thing like when you go to the casino, like the casinos, the slot machines, they don't have like coin operated slot machines. They're like, you got to put bills in them. But like in the old days, I'd always just pull out if I was in a casino, if I had some quarters and stuff, I would always throw them into the slot machine, right? But now, if I go to a slot machine, I have to pull out $10. So I don't really play slot machines anymore. I don't just do that. It's very rare that I go into because I'm always in there making sports bets. But so I'm not in there, I'm not throwing my money into the slot machine like I used to. I'd always throw my loose change. I would always throw it in a slot machine. That was like common. So same type of thing. If there was just a pack available, if I was at the store and stuff, and there's like a pack of the pop art cards, all refractors, and I could get one for $5, I'd pick it up. I don't always want to have to pay $100 for a box and shit, So that's what I'm saying about, I like the idea of Zerocool. I just don't like the idea of them packaging it in a high-end type of flawless product and creating this illusion of scarcity and making it such a high-end demand product. That's what I don't like. So we'll see what they do with it. But I would love to see refractor cards of Andy Warhol's pop art. I think that would be freaking awesome. It would be awesome as long as it was affordable and they didn't create all this freaking scarcity and make it too expensive and try and be like, oh, we gotta make it a collector's item. Just make some cool fucking cards, dude. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, just give us some cool fucking cards because we like cards. And a refractor, I think it's a perfect fit. Andy Warhol's pop art with refractor cards, I think that's a perfect fit. But don't make me chase through fucking a whole case of cards just to get like 5 refractors and shit or something, Because like, Jesus Christ, that's what I don't like and shit. So then, over here, so I made that video about sports card radio and stuff, right? And I was saying that they're in their dead grandparents' house. And so it's the point of like when I make a video like that and when I title it, it's like with a shocking title and shit, right? I'm not trying to be 100% right. I'm trying to be provocative with the title. I'm trying to be provocative, and I think it's funny and shit, right? Oh yeah, sports card radio. Oh yeah, they're so big and rich and shit that they're flexing from their dead grandparents' house. See, it's funny and shit, right? But the bigger issue of what I was saying is like they tried to flex on Sasha T, calling Sasha T a pool boy, and now it's like, dude, so what? The guy was like in high school or starting to go through college, and he had a little pool cleaning business. What the hell is wrong with that? You know, what the hell? Or like somebody's a pizza boy, or like, because there was a TV show called Entourage, if you people don't know that, and so then the Vinny Chase, his friend, which ended up being his agent. Originally, he was like a manager of a pizza restaurant, and then so the Ari Gold character, which was the Vinny Chase's real agent, his real big elite Hollywood agent, he would always refer to Vinny Chase's friend as Pizza Boy and shit, right? So yeah, it's funny on the show and shit. It's funny. It's funny when you're doing it as jokes, but sports card radio is like actually attacking Sasha T, and they actually are trying to downgrade him. I think in the last video, I think that they said some good things about him and shit, right? But it's like the way that they do it seemed like too much more of an attack and shit, not just jokes and shit, right? It's hard to know. It's like, okay, were you joking here, or are you just full on attacking and shit, right? So it's like, well, I'll come back and do it to you. If you guys are going to do it to them, then I'll do it to you and shit, right? And so that's just what, and it's like, because I don't see them being so great and shit or whatever. They, you know, like I said, if there's some good things about them, I'd say some good things about them. But from what I've been watching recently, because I don't know these guys forever and shit, so it's like, good deal. You've been around the sports card. Okay, well, I was around the sports cards in the 80s. I went to the fucking one of those first nationals at the Anaheim Sports Convention Center, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've got the knowledge of like, and like I'll dog on like Card Collector too. I'll say there's things about him that I'll dog on, but he's also, there's no doubt that the dude's got far more sports card knowledge, not sports knowledge. That's the difference, because I've been in sports, like I said, I've been gambling this whole time and shit on sports, so I have a great deal of sports knowledge, but all the actual sports cards that came out at the time, I don't have the knowledge of all the sports cards and shit, because I was out of it and shit, right? So like Card Collector 2, he's got a great deal of sports card knowledge. You know, I would never dog on and say he doesn't and shit, right? But so sports card radio, I don't know, whatever their history is in the sports card industry, I guess they got some little history, but it's not worth the way that they constantly are flexing. Their jokes are like that. It's a flex joke, and it's like, I just don't get it. I don't see that it's so funny the way that they flex. That's what I don't like about them. It's like, I don't get that joke and shit. I don't see you guys being so. I don't get to be flexing is stupid as fuck anyways and shit, right? If you show your cards off and show stuff, and that's cool. We like to see cards and shit, right? But you don't got to be like putting people down and be like, look at all these cards I get. You could never get my cards, you damn pizza boy. And that's one of the jokes that I hate is like, you know, there's the big joke that everybody says, oh, because you're living in your mama's basement and stuff, right? So like, this is like a joke I don't get, because I'm from the West Coast. We don't have houses on the West Coast don't have basements. Like nobody's house I ever grew up with had a basement. I can tell you like a funny story. First, like probably the first time I ever even seen a basement is because a friend of mine, okay, so like the city I grew up in, friend of mine down the street, because this is how it is and shit, right? We were poor. You know, we're just working class poor people and shit, right? But a friend down the street, his parents, they were kind of rich. They were on a level of rich and shit, right? And so they had a house in Catalina. They had a cabin up in Big Bear Mountains. They had a house in Catalina. So as a kid, I got to go to Catalina Island quite frequently and shit, right? And so we'd go to their cabin in Catalina, and they'd had a basement, and it would be like full of water. And it's just like funny shit when you see stuff. It's like, why is there a basement? Why is it full of water and shit? I mean, because they're on the island and shit. I don't know, but it's like, well, why would you have a basement? You know, because like I'm saying, and in LA and stuff, nobody has like basements in the house unless you're like super rich, I guess, living in Beverly Hills and you build basement. I mean, you don't come across that and shit, right? So there's that joke where everybody's saying you're living in your mama's basement and shit, right? So that's one of those jokes that it's like, well, I don't get that because there aren't even basements there. So I would think like a better thing would be like, oh, you live in the garage and shit. That would be a funnier joke for like the West Coast. If I was going to tell a joke like that, I'd be like, oh yeah, you're really independent. Yeah, you're living out in your fucking parents. You're living out in the garage. You live in the garage of your parents' house. That would be more reasonable because people turn their garages into like studio apartments type of thing. That's like much more common. So like that's what I'm saying is like there's things that I don't get about why people do things and stuff. And like I hate that joke when they're living in the basement because it's like the first basement I ever seen was in Catalina Island and it was full of water and shit. How do you live in that basement and shit, right? But so Sports Card Radio, so he admits here, he sent a little comment to me. And so one of the things that when you're in here trying to, like I'm not a real YouTuber, but I make YouTube videos and shit, right? But so one of the things that I like to do is I like to get the attention of people that have bigger pages and that have like notoriety and stuff, right? So I like to put their names in, like I'll tell you, I flat out like to do that. I do this and shit, right? Because I want to get their attention. So they know my name and shit, right? Because the bigger picture of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to expose to everybody that, hey, you should see the work I've done on my other page. I've proven that Michael Jackson is actually the love child of Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson. And that the song Billie Jean has been misinterpreted this whole time. And Billie Jean is actually Diana Ross. And it's about Diana Ross informing Michael Jackson that he was her child when Michael's about 10 years old. So it's like, that's a massive discovery. And the work I've done is like top-notch level and stuff, right? But when it comes down to like being rich and famous and stuff, it's like I don't want to be in that world anymore. I don't want to do that. And I know people ask why I'm so mad and I yell at people all the time, and it's like, well, that kind of is like a protection of me from not getting into this like the woke culture people and having them come and like put their arms around me and say, you're one of us, come join us and stuff. And it's like, so I constantly am like cursing at people and trying to be rude in ways and just showing them that I'm not part of you. I don't want to be part of that fucking culture. And I don't want to be tempted by them to like being like throwing all this money at me and all this attention and the fame and just like having fucking beautiful fucking starlet actresses coming and wanting to fuck me and shit, right? It's like, you people might think I'm stupid and shit, but I don't want that. I'm 50 years old. I'm about to turn 50 years old and shit. That's a weird thing about with the drummer of Foo Fighters that just died and shit. And so Michael Jackson died at 50 years old, and then the drummer of Foo Fighters died. He just turned 50 years old. Oh, and by the way, today's Diana Ross's birthday and shit too. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's just so many fucking things going on in the world and shit. There's so much shit. I'm just overwhelmed with stuff. And so in society and stuff, it's like the one thing I don't want with my Michael Jackson story. I just want the notoriety for making the discovery, and I want people to appreciate the work of what I've done. And like right now, like there's been articles, there's people have written about my story, like in Rolling Stone magazine and the Mirror, I showed that and stuff. Okay, so those people had to write that, so that means they got paid. Okay, so that means other people have already made money off of my story, and I have not made $1 off of it. That's just like the reality of the situation. There's all kinds of people out there that made videos and stuff like that all through TikTok. There's just so much shit has happened, okay? But I've never made even $1 off of my story. And I've got my page has like over 400 videos and shit, my An American Scheme page and shit, but I've never even made $1 off it. And so I just want the notoriety from it. To me, it's the accomplishment of doing it. To me, the money thing is not the end game to prove that I've done something. To me, it's just the exposure of exposing a truth to the world that nobody ever saw. The reality was right there in front of your face and nobody ever saw it. So that's like what I'm trying to do. So one of the ways in which I try to do that, to expose my Michael Jackson story, is I go to other people and I just want them to be exposed to my name and shit, And how I do is I make videos about them and shit, right? Because it's like all these people with their flex and all the stuff they do, I'm really good at just pointing out and saying, you ain't shit, you ain't that. What the fuck? What world do you think we live in? Who are you fucking trying to entertain? Like, what the fuck? Who are you trying to impress? Fucking stupid little kids? Because you sure as hell ain't impressing a 50-year-old fucking man and shit. You ain't impressing me. And it's like, if you want to fucking battle on an intellectual fucking level, well, then that's fine. I'm definitely willing to battle. And if you meet me in person and fucking step to me, then you're going to fucking still deal with a fucking man and shit. You want to fucking battle and shit? Fuck you. So I'm a fuck you dude. So But I got responsibilities and shit in my life. That's the only thing. It's like, see, that's the big thing too. It's like people that like want to fight and shit. And it's like, dude, okay, well, you don't understand these fucking idiots. And it's like, okay, if I get arrested, I don't have anybody to call. There's nobody for me to call and say, bail me out of jail. And, you know, I don't have a lawyer to call because I don't got a bank account. You know, because like, look at like fucking... See, I could tell you there's so much shit. That's what I'm saying. I could just always ramble on these videos. But, like, so, when I was 18 years old, I worked as an extra in Hollywood. I was working as an extra in the movies. And so I learned about what you need to do and to actually become an actor and shit, right? So you got to get an agent. So I got a fucking actual agent. I got headshots. There's a magazine that you can buy in Hollywood that's got the list of all the Hollywood agents. And so I just, like, the first person I fucking sent my headshot to, they called me up, I went down there, and they fucking signed me and shit. I got an actual agent. But so I needed a car at that time, and so my dad at that time, that was the only person there that could get me a car. I needed some transportation, because you can't, back then they didn't have good transportation and public transportation in LA and shit. There was no way I could go to the auditions and do that. But so I asked my dad for a car, he said no. He said no. And my dad's so stupid and shit. He's like, oh, he's like, these people, they're so dumb. He's like, oh, they're just trying to they want to sell you pictures and they want to sell you acting lessons. It's like, fucking idiot. It's like, dude, I was working in Hollywood the last year. You don't think I learned something about that fucking shit? Like, I can go show you. I'm on the fucking big screen. I'm on the little screen. I could show you fucking I was there. And so I was getting paid for that shit. I learned how to do it. I got a fucking agent. I was going to go start doing real auditions and maybe become an actor. I was young. I was at the right age. I was in the right place. Who knows what would have happened with that. But so he said no. So then I fucking was like, well, what do I do? So I enrolled in a fucking, what they call like a for-profit school. Okay, so I was going to learn computer diagnostic repair. And so I went to this fucking school. A few months later, the school closed down, and then they made me which I don't owe them any money, but then they're saying I owe them money. And so from that point, I'm like 19. Instead of me having the chance to go be an actor, boom, I went to the school. They closed down. They fucked my credit up. You know? So I always had bad credit. There was always lingering. There was people hounding me for money and shit. Of money that I don't fucking owe them and shit, right? So I'm saying, the problems that you go through in your life and how things evolve and how things work out, it's fucking tricky and shit. And then you got the government and everybody's, like with me, my parents were never like helping me to do the right thing. Like, my dad's just an idiot, just saying, go to school. And it's like, that's because you're so fucking stupid. You don't know anything but to follow in the line of fucking what the government wants you to do is bow down, do what we fucking say, be a good little fucking doggy. Okay, well, I wasn't that way. I was a creative fucking type of person and shit, right? So all the things of how life evolves and stuff, and it's like, dude, I don't mind fucking being poor. I don't give a fuck, because it's like that I learned so many life lessons, and the fact that I made the discovery, it's like, this is like the longevity to show people. It's like, you got to just live your life, because you never know how it's going to work out. All the things of what happened and stuff, that led to me making the discovery about Michael Jackson's real parents. A big fucking discovery. Something massive that's bigger and just on top of everybody's shit. I flex that shit, and I got no fucking problem saying what I've done and what I've accomplished is massive. It's beyond fucking anything that anybody's done. It's big. So I have no problem with saying that the reason I was able to get to that point is because all the fucking struggles and the poverty of what I had to live through, the fucking battles with your parents not doing anything for you. And so I grew up, and then I had to fucking take care of my parents and shit. And so it's like, I had to go through all this shit outside. There's so much shit. It's real life and stuff. And so when I get people coming like the Sports Card Radio making their stupid little fucking videos trying to flex, it just bugs me and shit, dude. It's like, we live in the fucking real world. Stop being with your fucking little kitty fucking flex bullshit. If you got some jokes to tell some fucking jokes. I don't want to hear your stupid flexing and you think that that's a fucking joke. It's because you're too stupid to fucking be creative and come up with some kind of intellectual form of a fucking joke on your own and shit, right? Yeah, so just this comment, just to read it. Because I had said that was her dead grandparents' house. And they said, that's a hotel in Palm Springs, friend. LOL. We were on our way back from Arizona. It's like, it's even the way he tries to describe it, he's trying to flex. Because I know he said, we were at Arizona at that card show. And we stopped in Palm Springs for some rest and relaxation and shit. And here we are by the pool and shit, right? And then they made the joke about Sasha T. Clean my fucking, what's my pH level, pool boy, Sasha, you know? So it's like, your joke's not funny. And your flex, so what? You were in Arizona at the fucking card show. Cool. beautiful drive. Go take a drive to Arizona. Anybody that never drove out there, it's beautiful. Get the fuck out of LA. Go drive to fucking Arizona. It's beautiful out there. Go see the desert and shit, you know? Same thing with Palm Springs. In Palm Springs, I used the same thing, like I said. I had another friend. Fucking his mom used to go to Palm Springs every weekend. So I used to go to Palm Springs all the fucking time, the weekends and stuff, right? So it's like, as a poor kid and shit, but I was poor. But I used to go to Palm Springs all the time. I used to fucking go to Catalina. I used to do all kinds of shit. You know, but I was still poor and shit, but I had friends, so your flex stuff and all the stuff, it's like, dude, if I wanted to fucking have friends, and I could always be poor, but I could have friends that had stuff, and friends need friends, they want you to come along. I was a guy that people liked me being around, so I didn't need to have money, because I always had other people who had money who liked my fucking presence, and liked just hanging out with me and shit, too, so whatever, that's my little rant shit, okay? Talk to you guys later, bye.